PSG went to the market and they got Kvaratskhelia. They knew what they wanted. Even though they let them this guy Kolomwani go, they brought in quality. You understand? So you have to spend that money. Look at there's a team they beat in the semi-final, Arsenal. Arsenal spent no money in the transfer. So it was so evident in short. And PSG came to this match very much prepared. I think this 5-0 is one of the biggest margin of goals I've seen in the Uefa Champions League.
5-0 loss for Inter against PSG. Like your reaction?
We already know that it is the team that beat Arsenal that will win. And PSG won Arsenal. And as you can see throughout the game for today, they were the better team. Big ups to PSG for seeing a team that was not up to their level and they won. They played their game, they came all out, they came to attack and they won. A very big shout out to Desiree Doué. That guy was everywhere today. We call him
golden boy.
We call him young Neymar. I would have given the golden boy to Skelly, but now he has won the Champions League final. So he's leading now. So big ups to them. Congratulations to them on their first Champions League. They still have a long way to go to get to me. I already have 15 Champions League. So now they have 14 more tries to go. So congratulations to them on their first one.
Bro Victor, like your reaction for the game today?
Very, very good game from PSG. This was tactically with strength and everything. PSG really bodied Inter Milan. They found the lapses in the game and they used it very well. The attack, it was so evident that PSG attack was more than Inter Milan's defense. It was so Dembele, Desiree Doué and Kvaratskhelia. Then even Bakola, though he missed a lot of chances, but you could see the sparks required, and that was something that PSG they used very well and they used it. Is it to talk about the midfield? Vitinha, very wonderful. João Neves, very beautiful. Fabian Ruiz. See, PSG did very well. They turned up the whole team. You cannot pick a flaw that this person did not do, but this person did not do well. The whole team played. They played as a team, and playing as a team, did a very good. It's a very good game from PSG. You understand? So very good win.
And actually, I don't know why Inter Milan was playing, or they were playing I-line today. They were playing I-line. They were dropping almost at the midfield, and it was easier for the runners of PSG to just run in behind. And a very big mention to Dembele too. Dembele did well today. He took his defender with him. He dragged him out of position, and that was why Kvaratskhelia and Doué, they were always able to run in between. No one to disturb
those spaces.
Yeah, they were able to penetrate those spaces, and he did his game very well today. And I said earlier that to be the best team in the world, to have your first Champions League nowadays. Man City spent a lot of money and they collected their Champions League. Now PSG, they spent a lot of money too, even more than Man City, and they have their first one. Now I don't know the club out there that is still suffering from not having a trophy. I don't know the club out there that is still suffering from Champions League drought. This is a message to them to spend money. That club, red and white, go and spend money and win a Champions League trophy. Champions League nowadays is not. Check it. The past winners: Chelsea, Madrid, PSG, Man City. Something that is common to all of them is a lot of money these past few years. So if you want to win Champions League now, spend money and it will be delivered to you. Thank you very much.
Talk about how PSG came through, like beating the three English teams, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Arsenal. Do you feel like okay now, like they are up there, like the French league now is now up there in that top 5?
I would not say the French team is up there in the top 5. You know, what you distinguish the English Premier League is that the 4 teams or the big 6 are very competitive, and in short, look at this season now. We had Aston Villa come outside and you know actually play football. You understand? But like this Arsenal fan has said, he said you must spend money.
Yes.
I don't know if you understand. PSG, they knew they were not very good in the January transfer. Who did they get? They got Kvaratskhelia. PSG went to the market and they got Kvaratskhelia. They knew what they wanted. Even though they let them this guy Kolomwani go, they brought in quality. You understand? So you have to spend that money. Look at there's a team they beat in the semi-final, Arsenal. Arsenal spent no money in the January transfer. So it was so evident in short. And PSG came to this match very much prepared. I think this 5-0 is one of the biggest margin of goals I've seen in UEFA Champions League
Since 1994, the last final was 4-0, 1994.
I can't imagine that. Or are we to talk about Enrique breaking another treble? So PSG came very much prepared for the game, and I would not, like you said, you asked a question, is the French team actually? I don't think the French team is, you can still call it a top league. PSG is coming to this UEFA Champions League with full force. It's not like like maybe Man City, that after they come and play PSG or they come and play Inter Millan in the league, they are going back to the league to face a very strong Brentford side that is not going to give them peace. They are going to go and face a very massive Newcastle side, you see. So the Premier League is still very, it has that competition and all of that, but they did well. PSG did extremely. I'm not taking anything of them, but you cannot still compare the French league to the Premier League. It's not possible. All the Spanish La Liga.
Let's look at the intensity of the two leagues. Now, there was a time, I think, during the semi-final when Arsenal were trying to play PSG. Now, the league, PSG League, Ligue 1, they had to suspend the match so that PSG will rest. Now, they already won the league, so they have to suspend the league so that then go and rest. So that before you play Arsenal, then after Arsenal, you will now come and play this your game. This is something that will never happen in England. It will never happen in England. Because England, I don't know, the level of intensity, the level of game. Now look at last season, for example. Every team plays. I think last season we recorded the most fast breaks in the Premier League. Counter-attack breaks. Team moving with fast speed, moving in high pace. 5-0. Doing all these things in the Premier League. Even the smallest of teams, Ipswich, if they catch you, they will make you sweat. You are going to beat them, but you sweat. This is something that is missing in the French league. And because of this level of intensity that we are talking about, you can see that it is showing off in the welfare of these players, in their fitness. Now, I think the Premier League suffered the most injuries that it has ever had last season. The most one that it has ever had last season. So we cannot compare, because PSG in their league, there is really no one to stress them. They can rotate their team week in, week out, and they are fine. But in the Premier League, it cannot happen.
Okay, now last night before you guys, do you feel like with this Champions League winning trophy, do you feel like Dembele deserves the Ballon d'Or?
I would not say he deserves the Ballon d'Or, but I would say that is a very top contender. See, Rodri winning the Ballon d'Or last season has opened a lot of possibilities. Right now, I can count a lot of people in that squad that can win the Ballon d'Or. I can say Fabinho absolutely deserves it if he goes well and he does well with Spain. I can say Hakimi deserves it if he goes well and does something very, very good with Morocco. I can say even Desiree Doué if he goes and does something very good with the French squad. You understand?
Remember the Club World Cup again.
Yeah, and the CAF Club World Cup. So Hakimi, what if in the Club World Cup Mbappe goes and does something very extraordinary and wins the Club World Cup? It's still open. So I don't think the Champions, because really in the Champions League we don't have a standout player. If you talk about goals, the leading goal is Rafinha or Guirassy, right? If you talk about assists, we have a different person. If we talk about impact in big games, we have like three people. There's Lamine Yamal, there's Rafinha, we also have Declan Rice in the Arsenal game and all of that. So we have a lot of players that have actually done well. So I'll just say that this has actually boosted Dembele's chance. I'm not saying as one. Even if we look to Champions League, if we go back to your respective leagues, we have Mohamed Salah there. We should not just write off Mohamed Salah. This is someone that won best player. He got the he got the best playmaker. He's someone that did something very good, and it's not that he was poor in the Champions League. It was still the same PSG that removed this side. You understand?
Now, thank you very much.
Thank you.